Welcome to the Scandal After Show here at the Stream.TV, the Fan Show Network. I'm your host, Jocelyn Polite, and I am joined by my gladiating co-host. Over here to my left is Kat Endsley. Hi, to my right is Jillian Fleischman. Hey. And next to Jillian is the wonderful and beautiful Christina Meyers.
Wow. We're all here.
Okay, so show shocker, Ian got taken out by a psychopath.
What?
Let's just go there. But before we start to talk about it, we want you to tweet us using the hashtag ScandalAS and also join us on the Stream's YouTube chat. We want to hear what you have to say. There is so much to talk about. We're going to get right into it, and we're going to start right in with, all right, game changer. Ian is taken out, so what's happening now?
Oh, Olivia, you in trouble, girl. You in trouble. You're in trouble because you should. Okay, I said this in the first episode. Why didn't you kill the first guy? The guy that she hit with the one who's now in charge, the dude whose name I can't remember because he's just so evil, I hate him.
To
shoot him in the head. Just killed him
Right.
because then she would be fine. But yeah, no, she's screwed.
Yeah,
she's so screwed.
So much is going on that I don't even know what's going to happen for her. I'm genuinely shocked. I mean, while we were watching this episode, I wrote on Twitter, "What is happening?" in all caps, and I think that pretty much sums up what we've seen.
Well, the auction is open, and we saw this episode that the auction opened, and that everyone's bidding on her, and I think the price went up to like what, 500 million?
Oh no, it was at
over a billion.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
over a billion.
Girl, sorry, Liv.
1.7 was what Huck bid.
1.7. Okay, so the auction opened up, and everyone was bidding, and I have to say, like, I didn't understand all that, but I'll let my co-host take it from there. But I see that like everyone was kind of going in on it, and then also we brought Mama Pope out. We resurrected her from like the cell,
which was so needed.
So happy. I love Mama Pope.
I just want to say, maybe I am naive. I'm always like Pollyanna, but I was like, I'm sure that like the president's going to successfully bid on her, and then we'll just like wrap this up, and she'll get back to Washington. Oh, and then it's like, but guys, there's a serious twist. Like, it's not going to be who we expect. It's not Iran.
Like, did you?
Right.
Is this the first Shonda Rhimes show you've ever watched? Because that might explain it.
No, I watched Grey's a little bit. I didn't.
But you're right. I
wasn't like a hardcore follower.
Well,
I wasn't a hardcore follower until Scandal.
I will say this though.
Yeah.
And let me just go back to Ian.
I'm always Pollyanna.
Yeah. Going back to Ian for 1 second, I was shocked by him being taken out. Like, I was not expecting that at all, and I'm sure none of us were out there expecting that to happen. I mean, maybe some of you are, because you guys are like brilliant when it comes to this show.
Yeah,
but he just went. I mean, he was just gone like that. Just I mean, and blood's all over Olivia, and I know none of us saw that coming.
No.
It's such a good play. I mean, just anyone can get shot in the head at any point.
No,
like, just bam, like we're starting over. Starting at square one.
A lot to do with the shock factor. I mean, every time the last 3 episodes have been crazy, where we haven't known what's going to happen, and every time you think you get some sort of idea, it just, in a second, it changes.
Yeah.
He was the one like, oh my God, great, now Olivia's sort of safe. She has someone who's kind of helping her, and then in an instant, it goes back to Nutso guy.
Right.
You can't end it.
You hit on a really good point. I think it's the people like Kat who are like the little oracle readers who are just getting the show so right that Shonda and her writers now have to like throw us off the track. Like, no scent.
I'm convinced.
But what about,
you know what I mean? Like,
well,
like,
let me bring us back so we can get on a topic. But what I want to say is that Mama Pope, Maya Wallace, she had a plan, and my question is, can she be trusted?
No.
No, but
not at all.
No,
not
but
with her daughter's life.
More than Papa Pope. More than Papa Pope, I think, just because she did raise Olivia. Like her, Papa Pope was off doing B613 crap. Like she was the one. Yeah, she's a terrorist, but she was the one at home cooking the meals and helping her with her homework and all this kind of stuff until she got arrested by her own husband and thrown in jail. Like, at least she's getting a flat screen out of it.
In my mind, I think she's trustworthy because she has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
She's sitting in jail. They ask her what she wants. She's like, get me out of here. And David says,
nope.
Do it for something that's realistic.
She's trustworthy, but I think she has an agenda.
She was making a parody of, like, what everyone wants when they get out of jail. I mean, that was like a total mocking, like, I need rolling grass. I mean, Mama Pope is not that, flight, what are you, Lily,
I
delicate.
just love Quinn coming in and being like, what about a TV? Can we just TV?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
they
was
did.
awesome.
He's like,
Great.
yeah, I'll
That's
take
what
it.
I would have thought.
What about Huck? Like, were we shocked that he's hoarding B16 billions?
That was
Huck's
so
a
awesome.
Huck's a
So good.
billionaire.
For
like,
me-
who knew?
So good.
This episode, Huck was amazing. To
Yeah.
me, it was Huck as a hero in this because
agree.
everything he did was so good and for Olivia, which is interesting because if you remember at the beginning of this season, he didn't even want her.
Yeah.
She came to visit him in that coffee store.
There you
Sorry, and told her to get out.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
loved that.
I've always been a huge Huck fan. I mean,
Right.
he's one of those guys. I mean, he has the hard edge, like he's carrying around people's arms and heads, but yet you feel for him and you can kind of want to hug him. I mean, once he puts the knife down, of course. But yeah, I mean, I love that even when he lost it and he's covered in blood and there's 5 people that are dead. He didn't even have a weapon. He did it all with his pinky or whatever.
Right.
And he's just like, oh, but he's gonna need proof.
But
And
didn't
the
he
thing
look a
is,
little gone to you? Do you think
did
he can
look a
come
little
back
gone.
from that?
Well, he did come back. He
don't
wasn't
know.
out killing more people. He was out
I don't know. Like, Huck has always been crazy, but Huck looked a little, I don't know, something was really off. I mean, I understood in the end, and I know we were at the end of the thing you were talking about, and you're like, I get what Huck is saying when he was going in about body parts and Olivia
she's
being
gonna die,
But at the same time, I just thought he had that wild eye, and he
Right.
was just looking at Quinn and then they'll mail her thumb, and then they'll mail her
Is he
ribs.
gonna,
And I was like,
go to Iraq and bust her out?
I
He
I
could
think
be that
Jocelyn's
badass.
right. There are always repercussions when Huck kills.
Yeah.
He will be fine after there's some balancing of the scales.
After
Like,
he sits in a corner going,
to
752.
Well,
get out of there.
I feel like he's always fine after Olivia helps him be fine. So he does this to get Olivia back and says, you know what, it doesn't matter what I do, I just have to get her back and then I'll be okay. So that's how I approach it.
Momentarily off the rails.
Yeah, I think we know he's a very emotional character,
Yeah.
I think, and he does everything to save the people that he cares about, especially because
I
we
wanna
don't know what
say,
happened to his family. But
loyal friend,
Yes.
no matter what,
Right.
doesn't matter
Yeah.
what the hell you're doing.
Right.
Drug smuggling, Huck has got your back.
That is
Okay?
true.
I do love
Everybody
to say-
needs a friend like that.
I do love that even Jake, who is B613,
Loyal.
he used to be command and everything, he was like, I haven't seen stuff like this. And Jake has seen everything. And even Jake is freaked out by Huck.
Well,
now
now
the
was a little absurd. I'm like, come on, you haven't seen a slaughter show.
yeah,
Jake.
you've cut off arms. Come on.
Yeah.
You
I
were
love that
sawing off a head.
Jake was surprised, but
play
no one else was.
innocent.
Well, what about the war in general? I mean, because this war was started. Fitz started the war in order to get her back, but now all these casualties of war. We saw the caskets, and everything, and there's 25 casualties so far, and now what is it all for? Because there's a big game changer. Now the game has changed. So what now is all the war for, and how do you justify it?
Yeah,
He did have a long monologue trying to justify it.
but it didn't work.
No.
Yeah, it kind of didn't work. It felt a little,
didn't.
you were like, yeah, these guys have died for Olivia. I mean, I mean, not to say, what? Olivia's always the most important. But I just mean, I think that maybe Olivia is more of a larger symbol of the integrity of America and the importance, and that's why he fights for her. On this larger scale, she is a symbol.
I was a little bothered
That is
that
so
they
sweet
only,
because I just think that he's just trying to get
just
Olivia
Craig.
back so he can just take her into rooms of the White House. But that's just me.
I mean, there are so many
just gone.
different wars going on the show, which we were kind of talking about. It's the war between Fitz and Mellie. It's the war between the White House and OPA, and you never. It's so much going on. But what is the point? What is the point of everybody fighting? It seems to be that it's all for Olivia, but to me as a viewer, it doesn't really.
Well, what's
make
the plan
sense.
now? That's the thing, because there is a plan B, and obviously, Mama Pope is in on this, and she's helping Jake and Huck, and she picked, basically told Jake that Huck needs to be the one that goes in to take care of what he did when he decapitated
she's
everybody.
like, no, white boy.
Yeah,
No, white
exactly.
boy.
But what's
That
the
was very
plan
funny.
now? I wasn't sure
Check
about
yourself.
what Mama Pope's plan fully was.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
either. I think that when we saw the preview or for next week, it's for me at least it's pretty obvious that Olivia is being sold to a woman. Just the way that the
From the
trench coat was
trailer.
cinched and there was a little bit of hair, she's being sold to a woman. And I think that Mama Pope has something to do with this. I don't think she's just getting sold to Iran. I don't think she
Yeah.
is. There's
How
got to
could
be
it
more
be
to it. But
that?
I also think I think Maya Wallace has got more tricks up her sleeve.
I do
she's
too.
She's been in the hole
Tons of
for
tricks.
years, and now she's just oh no. I got this. Like,
Yes,
I got
but
this.
she was out for a certain period of time,
And she
that's
didn't
the
recap it.
important part. Is because she.
Yes, but I'm thinking, this whole setup of, killing those guys, getting Huck to do it. I'm like, that's not the whole story. It was not just, I'm paying back for this drug, little da-da-da, and then he'll go in. I'm like, she's always got a million rackets going on. Maybe it was unfinished business, and this was, crossing the T, dotting the I, and we're going to find out later what that
one thing
means.
that was good to see was Abby's affection and love for Olivia, because, Abby has been one that always gets on my nerves, and I mean, I know Abby, she's a favorite of everyone. She's not a favorite of mine.
Nope.
But she, when she found out, it was kind of heartbreaking. I mean, this is like her only friend. She loves Olivia, and she had no clue. No one let her in on anything. She went back to being red.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say it. She bothered me so much in this episode. I feel like I'm a nice person who always roots for Abby. It was ridiculous. Didn't you think it was ridiculous? She's like berating the attorney general.
A little bit.
Berating her
ex-boyfriend.
for not telling her.
No,
And
but
she
it was
manipulated
definitely-
him all those seasons ago with the abuse photos and all of this.
But
And
she
she's
wasn't
yelling.
manipulating him.
It
Olivia
was definitely
bothered
an
me.
emotional
But she-
vomit.
it
It
was
was an
too-
emotional
it was.
outpour vomit.
Yeah.
And but her ex-boyfriend did the right thing, making her the, glass of scotch. It was
Right,
like,
but
all right, you need a hug.
I didn't like her.
It was the Washington,
Tonight.
D.C. hug, which is a glass of scotch.
Glass of scotch at the White House. I love
Well,
it.
one
you need
person
a
that's
hug.
getting on my nerves is Rosen. Like, I don't know about anybody else.
Thank
Rosen has
you.
always gotten on my nerves, but I don't understand the point of Rosen anymore on this show. I don't get him at all. Like,
I'm
what
the
does he
Attorney
do?
General. I'm the Attorney
And
General.
like,
I'm the
really?
Attorney General.
I mean, seriously, out there,
Get it.
hashtag scandal AS. Somebody help me. You guys have such great conversations, and definitely tweet us and everything. I don't know what Rosen does anymore. Somebody explain Rosen to me.
I think he's the random guy who kind of shows how crazy everyone else is.
the moral compass
Yeah.
of the show.
Moral compass.
He is the moral
where
compass,
we're all
the only
watching-
straight
We're all
shooter,
watching
yeah.
a TV
Straight
show that's so dramatic from start to finish, and he's that one guy who says, this is like kind of strange. Like that's what
he's
he
like,
says.
can we follow the rules just once?
Like
Yeah,
I
that's what
understand
I
like the annoyance with Abby in that scene, but like for me, I saw it as like a woman going to her ex-boyfriend and being like, this ex-boyfriend. Like she wasn't talking to the attorney general in that moment. She
Right,
was talking
of
to her
course.
ex-boyfriend, being like, my best friend is taken. You're an ass. Stop. And in that moment, like I just wanted her to slap him.
Yeah.
He's
wanted
an
her to slap him.
obtuse ass, but he does follow the rules, and you can trust him when it comes to,
Doing
I
the
don't
right
know.
thing.
No, the law.
Wearing
the
an
actual
actual white hat.
Here's the okay.
Someone's
So
gotta be an honest
after this
shooter.
episode, like I mean, this episode is interesting to me. I don't know quite if I like it or not. There were parts of it that I liked, but I have to say, like, what the hell is going on Scandal? Because I don't know what's going on. Everybody is crooked and trifling, and it's just gone like all off the rails. Everything's moving fast, and is it working for everybody? Because I felt like tonight it was just this crazy episode that just went everywhere, and I didn't get it.
Tonight
I have
for
to
me,
say-
like the only thing that like worked perfectly for me is how Fitz and Mellie are now.
Right.
Because Fitz and Mellie have finally figured it out. Like they just need to be married for politics and be each other's best friend and have, sex on the side with other people. It's how they work. Like it's not the traditional thing, but they finally figured it out. Like she's sitting there going, "You need to find Olivia. You'll find her. It's okay. Like come
Support
here."
team
Like
with
she's
empathy.
supporting him, finding his mistress. Like get it,
When
Mellie?
he supported her,
Yeah, with
wanting to
getting-
become president.
Bam! Like
that was a
it's
big
the
moment.
healthiest their relationship has ever
Well,
been.
now she said that she wants to become president.
I'd vote
so
for her.
You'd vote for her?
I'd vote for her.
I'm not voting for Mellie.
I'd vote for her. That woman knows what she's doing.
Scene at the airbase at the end was presidential all the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. We've seen her at such a low at the beginning of this season that I like that she's finally standing up for what
Yeah.
she wants.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
which is not Fitz and a man. It's not a man.
And humanizing her more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're understanding her motivations more.
Well, one of the things that I thought was also really interesting is I know on Twitter, and I just believe on the internet in general, everyone was really talking about this episode, I believe, being split, and it's a little different than what it was
Yes.
before. And I think that there's just a lot to do with current news and current events that are going on. You know what I mean? With like Kayla Mueller and ISIS, and it mimics it in so many different ways. And I just think that kudos to Shonda if this is the case, for her being very sensitive to that. I mean, we have to continue with this storyline, but kudos to her for that.
Yeah.
I do really admire all of Shonda's writings. I feel like she's always incorporating kind of current events, and there's a sensitivity to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And also something that gets people talking.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I think is a positive way to write.
And speaking of talking, we are going, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get to your questions. But first, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them don't go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hey there, we're back here at the Scandal After Show here at the Stream.tv, and we're going to get to your questions next, but we want to remind you that all of your after shows are right here at the Stream.tv, the Fan Show Network, so check us out so that you can find your favorite shows and talk with our great host. All right, so first we want to give some Twitter shout-outs really fast to @LoveExoScandal, @IamAGladiator_, @Ezraya1, @NerdLady21, @CVC, @BreezyB, let me try that again, @BreezyBree23, @CaseGeorgia11, and @Fantastic_Pam. We want to thank you. Thank you so much for retweeting and just having conversations with us and supporting our show. We really appreciate it. Okay, we're going to get to our fan questions because this is our favorite part and we can't wait to talk about this stuff. So our first fan question comes from @ChrisHawkins94, who writes, do you think Olivia Pope's father would bid at the auction to get her back? Will Olivia ever trust him again?
I don't think she'll ever trust him again, but I kind of hope Papa Pope pops up. Like,
Yeah.
I miss you, Papa Pope. I miss you.
I do too. I think the whole time I think that Papa Pope is behind this.
Mom
I
and
think
Dad,
that,
you never get away
so,
You
from
think he's
them.
the Iraqi person?
I think that he's involved in some way.
How could he not
That's
be?
just what I think. So I think
That
he is.
couch is in agreement.
I know, exactly. No, I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him again.
back.
I hope he's not involved, but I do want to see him pop up again and kind of get her out of this.
How could he not be involved?
Right.
It's
That's
just
fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
our
more
next
ugly
fan
and
question
complicated,
is
the
from @Lolo8683. Do you guys think Liv's friend Catherine could have been in on it somehow?
Ooh.
She's the one whose daughter was killed and then her husband shot himself in the stairwell, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That storyline has not been touched upon. So
At
if
all.
it is her, then sorry, Shonda, why don't you write her in a little more?
Well, you know what? And that's the thing that I find that's so interesting because that storyline with Catherine, you're right, it was never touched upon again. And then also the storyline in the very beginning of the season when that senator fell over to Bannister or was murdered, that was never touched on again. So
Yes,
there's
that
a
did
lot.
disappear.
Yeah, there's a lot of different directions
Well,
to
that
go.
had like, no, you're right.
No, we never touched on it again. We never saw
Shonda,
the
what you
situation
doing, girl?
again.
I love the idea of characters we haven't seen in a while completely surprising us and coming
yeah.
back. So that Catherine's a great call. I
That
never
is a
thought
great
of that.
call.
It's a great twist, right? I mean, planting the seed and then
Yep.
No, it
surprising
would be.
us. Yeah.
Okay, our fan question number 3 comes from @PKs on Scandal. How did he, that meaning Andrew, have these people on his side? He just got here. How does he have these allegiances in the White House?
Well, I mean, he was Fitz's bestie before he got nominated, right? Like, they were, like, really good friends, and so once you're really good friends with the president, like, I'm pretty sure people just, like, kind of come to your side.
No, I agree. He must give good head or something. You know, I think he's...
You're like, no.
Well, there's somebody else. I mean, now that we know, there's somebody else who's definitely involved. Because there's no way that Andrew can pull this big of a thing off. He doesn't... First of all, where does he have the money?
Yeah, we brought that up. We never touched on the money. I mean, what's, you know, some foreign country with oil... You know, maybe it's funding him.
I don't know.
Someone, you know, right? Yeah, a backer.
I'm surprised Russia didn't bid.
I kind of think there's a backer, but at the same time, when Andrew when he was fighting with Ian on the phone, you'd think that then he would have called somebody else who was involved. The fact that he didn't make any other phone call makes me think that this is like an angry guy who's like, you know what? The president didn't stand up for me. I feel jilted. I'm doing it.
Is he just being like a little baby? Is he just being like a little high school boy that's like, my best friend dated the cheerleader that I wanted to date?
Absolutely.
I mean, what did he say to Mellie today? That was a song title or something?
I missed it. I don't know.
I've got you, babe.
Yeah, they were doing some Sonny and Cher crap, and he's like threatening to tell. He's like, I'm gonna tell everyone every position. I've got you, babe. I'm like, wait, what are you doing? It's like when they referenced Voldemort last season. I was like, really, Scandal?
I think there's a lot of people that can come up, even people from the past. But we'll continue with that each week. But first, let's talk about what's going on YouTube.
Yes. Okay, so I get to read all these comments before everybody else. So I want to know what you guys think about some people saying that they think Mellie could be the woman in the jacket.
Oh, there's no way.
What?
She couldn't have like gone to Iraq.
Sally. I think it's Sally.
What?
Whoa, I like that.
That's good. But Sally doesn't have that kind of money.
True, but I mean, I think.
Well, I mean, after her dead gay husband, she might.
You never know.
You have a
I don't know, but I know
supporter?
one thing. Sally is mad, and somebody twisted her little Christian britches, so she is upset.
Sally and Hollis.
You never know.
That's what I thought. But
what about Hollis's wife, the one whose daughter like cut off her own ear? Like she'd be like, "Oh, Olivia, poor you. Let's help you."
But
maybe
people loved the episode, and
they had to be
and
invited.
that's
Brilliant. Good job, Twitter.
All right, so okay, we have to wrap up. Sorry, I hate to wrap up, but we have to wrap up. But let's keep the conversation going on Twitter because you see that there's way more to talk about. We want to talk to you about it. We want to thank you for all the conversations that you had this week. We also want to thank at Gladiators Unite and also Scandalites on Facebook for posting our show. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And for supporting us. We will be back here next week. We thank you for choosing us as your after show for Scandal here at thestream.tv, and we will see you next Thursday. Good night, Gladiators.
Good night, Gladiators. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
For more Scandal After Show, hit that button and subscribe to thestream.tv.